And so many of you may know Chris Colfer best for his Golden Globe winning role as Kurt on the hit TV musical series Glee. But what you may not know is that Chris is also a New York Times best-selling author, not once, not twice, 4 times over.
We love him, and now to the delight of his millions, I should say, of young adult readers, Chris is out with the 5th installment of his Land of Stories series called An Author's Odyssey.
Chris Colfer, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's
Okay,
nice to be
so
here.
you sit down to write a book. You hope people like it.
Yeah.
And you're just at the top of the New York Times bestseller list. How does that all feel? How does it hit you?
I mean, you know, it's wonderful, and I never take it for granted. But the books keep, you know, building an audience. The audience keeps growing and growing, which makes it a lot harder to write each book. Because every time I sit down at the computer, I'm like, okay, this is not just 100 kids that I thought would read. It's like 1 million kids. So it's a lot of pressure, to please them.
So have you always loved both writing and acting? I mean, you're doing both, obviously.
Yeah. As a kid, I loved just playing pretend, and it was all just one thing to me. And it wasn't until later someone had to tell me that there are 2 different arts. And but yeah, they've been with me ever since I was a kid.
Since it is about the kids, we actually got a few viewers to give us a question, and we picked out one from Adriana. She's 9 years old, and we have it. Let's play it.
Why did Alex and Connor have to go through so many challenges just to make the spell?
What is this, an interrogation? Young journalist from MSNBC there.
Right? Yeah.
Frustrated,
She is very frustrated. Well, I would say, they had to go through a lot of challenges to make the story fun and adventurous, and I apologize for all the trouble I got them into.
So when your reviewers are age 9, I mean, how do you navigate those waters? Because they are very direct.
They have no filter whatsoever. If they don't like a sentence, they will tell you right to your face. And it's hysterical and again, lots of pressure.
So this is a series that kind of seems like it's setting itself up for a good blockbuster movie.
Yeah,
Do you have hopes on that? Do you have anybody in mind for the main character?
Yeah, it's funny. Originally, I was so against it because I would rather it be a good book that 100 people read than a terrible movie 100,000 people saw.
Fair enough.
The audience, the little kids come up to me and they demand a movie, so I don't think I no longer have that option.
You don't have a choice.
So it's a done deal. The people have spoken. The people under 4 feet tall.
The little people have spoken, right? Yeah. So I think it's definitely going to happen someday. I think now I'm taking my time to make sure that it's with the right people in it. It's also a good movie, not just why make a movie if it can't be a good movie?
Yeah. Let's talk about AbFab really quickly. In between writing best-selling novels, you've also found time to maintain your acting career. This is huge. You're going to appear in the upcoming AbFab film. Your role came about very organically, I guess we can say. Explain that a little bit.
Well, I've always been such a huge fan of the show, and Jennifer Saunders has always been a personal hero for mine. So when the Glee tour was at the O2 a few years back, I didn't have any friends in in London, so I just reached out to her and asked if she wanted to come to the show, and she did, and we became friendly, and she wrote to me one night saying she was going to do an AbFab movie, and I had to be in it, and so the rest is history.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, and by the numbers, speaking of history, the biggest UK opening of a British film since the last James Bond movie.
Yeah, it's doing really well, really good.
That should put you in the running to be the next Bond, at least.
That's the first I've heard, but I support it.
All right. Well, Chris, thank you so much for coming in this morning. And you have great hair.
Thank you so much.
It doesn't move.
Thank you. Thank you. That's good. Thank you.
All right, up next.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.